Hey guys, this is Stu from Stuart Scale Models, and this is my latest update on my entry into the Pricks of Plastics Leopard group build. And as you can see, my entry is the anti-aircraft version of the vehicle based on the Leopard 1 chassis called the Gepard, which is made by Tamiya. Now, I have to say, it's come on quite a bit since you last saw the work I was doing on my channel update. I've got the base coat down on her and got it clear coated, and then basically got the decals on, as you can see here. Did all the detail paintwork, that's all done, and then put another clear coat over that. And she is really coming on a treat, guys. And I don't know if you can see, the Steiner Res has given it some nice tonal variation in the actual main colour itself. Now, I did originally indicate I was going to do a 3-tonal camouflage scheme, which is on most HERE vehicles these days in the German army, but considering the time that's left in this group build, I decided to go with the scheme indicated on the kit, which was the original overall olive green when she first went into service with the army. So I thought I'll keep it simple and straightforward. And as you know, we've only got, well, nearly just under 2 weeks till the actual group build finishes. So I wanted to get this kit finished within the time frame. As you can see on the back here, I've done some detail paintwork on the rear with this rear column here, and also the rear headlights as well. They've been done with just basically XF1 first off, and then once that was done, I just put in the red, Tamiya red, and then obviously for the indicators the clear orange, and then finally the silver, and it went down beautifully. And on the front of the vehicle I've also painted in the headlights as well with Tamiya's chrome silver. And on the smokes, just smoke chargers, as you can see here, they're all painted. And the radio aerials also in chrome silver, just to give it that definition. And the interior was painted XF1 as well, before I actually did the base coat. And then obviously after that was done and clear coated, I've just painted on the hatch handles in the black as indicated. Now, with the vision ports at the front here, I've left one covered and one open. That one I will do nearer the end of the build, so it just gives them interest, as it were. As I say, the actual base coat was XF62, which is their olive drab. Now, I've also used this on my previous build, the Sherman, as well, and it just comes up to the right tonal variation. And it went down beautifully at 22 psi through my Neo, and as soon as it got down it just dried, so I was very happy with the end result on that. And again, I did have a few issues where it's spluttering, and I managed to straighten the needle no problem after that. Absolutely super. Then once that was done, I've just painted in the details like the Oerlikon cannons that you can see here in their gunmetal. Smoke dischargers, I painted the ends of those, although I kept snapping this off. And again, I had to do some scratch building because, lo and behold, silly old me cut it back too far. So I had to use some sprue, measure it out, get it on, done. So that was that done. But the other one, it was just straightforward, straight in there. And also, as you can see on the back, if I open her up, in the actual computer housing which powers the radar antenna, the main server, as you can see here, is all detail painted as well, exclusively with all the wires going in, as is indicated part of the kit instructions. And then later on I clear coated the interior of that, and then the overall vehicle itself, just to get, you know, excuse me, ingrain the painting, seal the painting, as it were. And I did it in light coats, and it's really, I don't know if you notice it gives them nice tonal variation on the vehicle as well, and it will be more noticeable when obviously I matte coated towards the end of this build. The decals went down extremely well with some microsol and microset, because I know some people have had troubles with film, excess film showing up even when you've clear coated. But thankfully, no problems at all on that score, especially with the Balkan Cruise. Now, I did have a bit of an incident, unfortunately, before I put the decals down. Lo and behold, there's the difference. There's always a drama with me with these builds. I had to do a little bit of cannibalization. The paint went all over the main cutting mat and on my decals. It was a case of shock, horror. Quickly get them off, quickly get the paint off. Thankfully, I managed to save the majority of them, except the Balkan Cruise. That was absolutely smothered, and when I tried to remove it, obviously all the decals cracked. So what I had to do was borrow the Balkan Cruise off my original leopard entry, the leopard 1. So as to get this kit completed, it still looks quite effective, and they're near enough the same size as they should be with a kit, so that came up very well. Okay, and then it was just a case of giving it an overall clear coat just to seal in the decals. Yeah, I did have fun and games with the number plate on the front here, and also the one at the rear, which you see here as well, because obviously some of the paint had actually got onto the paper. It was a devil's own job to remove it from the actual backing paper itself when it came to wetting the decals. And in fact, both that one and that one cracked at the end, and yeah, with a lot of swearing, a lot of cursing, and a lot of application of microsol and microset, I managed to get them back in one piece. So yeah, that hurt my eyes, guys, I can tell you, but I thought, well, I'm going to persevere and have a go, and I did, and I'm glad that it came out perfectly alright, because not even a gnat would notice the difference on that. So there you go. So that was the main crux of the vehicle done. And then obviously once that was done, I also clear coated the tracks. They're ready for the next set of washes, because obviously what I'm going to do is give it a sort of a dusty effect and a little bit of mud here and there, as though it's been out on exercise on the plane, as it were. Okay, and then obviously the exhaust shrouds here, I'll just do a few soot stains as though it's got burnt, or you know, where the soot collects, etc. So there we are, that's the main crux of the vehicle. The sub-assemblies, I've got them all clear coated. All the running gear is done, and I have to say the black is actually the Steiner's. Again, I used the XF62, and to basically get some perfectly aligned wheels with the paint, I used an ordinary Commodore Garden circular template, which you can obtain to any stationers, and this only cost me about £1.30. So that is basically what I tend to use for most of my wheels on my vehicles, apart from the mast views on Tigers, which I've got in. So you don't have to spend a lot to get some really good results. And if you have a look at the wheel here, the hub is absolutely perfect on the front and also on the rear as well. So there you go. And also I clear coated them as well, just to seal the paint in. And the actual main radar antenna array, that's all done. Again, I've got some nice tonal variation going over the Steiner's with that, and it should look even better once the actual dark dirt wash has gone down. And I may just chip it a little bit here and there, especially on the top of the vehicle's turret, because then a lot of the crew will be clambering over that. So there you go. The figure itself, well, I've almost got that done, guys. It is still a little bit slippery on here. As you can see here, I've basically highlighted all the folds and everything. Actually, I'll take him off the cocktail stick. And used XF white for that. And then obviously clear coated him. And then went over with the dark dirt wash to sort of pop up all the detail in his tunic, and obviously his facial features and on his hands. All that remains to be done with that is just to get him dull coated, and he's done. So there you go. And it's more noticeable on the back here. I know it's not one of the best looking figures, but I just needed it so that it sort of gives you a sense of scale of this vehicle, because it is a big old beast. If I can get him to stand up, you can see for yourself. So there you go. So basically that's where we're at this moment in time, guys. The next process I shall get on with is obviously putting down some chipping here and there, and then go into a dark dirt wash, not only on the interior but also on the exterior as well. And then after that, give it another clear coat just to seal the wash in, and then it's a case of getting them muddied up and dusted up, putting all the running gear on, get the tracks on, and that's it. It's complete. So the next time you should see this, it will be the final reveal. That could well be in the next week or so, within the time frame of this group build, because I think this actual group build finishes on the 30th of April. And the way things are going, guys, I should easily get this done within the allotted time. Anyway, I hope you like what you see. I'm certainly happy at the way this build has come together in such a short space of time, because I only think I got started on this around about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've got this far already. It really has got my mojo running 110% after the long build I had with the M group build, and it's always better to do a nice simple build after that, so it just keeps your mojo going and ticking over. So there you go. Anyway, leave your comments down below, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, by all means do so. I'll be very grateful. Carry on all your great builds out there, guys. I'm seeing some real crackers. And as I say, the next one on this one will be the final reveal. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I will want to wish everybody a very happy Easter. Don't eat too many Easter eggs and make yourself sick. I know I have in the past, but hey, and have a lovely time over the bank holiday weekend. Anyway, as I said, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, guys.